in the quiet village of Umuakachi. She sang in church every Sunday. But when the sun went down, she danced for spirits that no one could see. Her name was Adaeze, a girl torn between light and darkness. But when love found her, the spirits grew angry. This is a story of choices, curses, and freedom. Stay tuned, and don't blink. Because not all that glitters at night is gold. Village of Umuakachi, a young girl named Adaeze is known as the perfect Christian girl, always in church, always respectful. But when the sun sets, she transforms into a different person, wild, mysterious, and powerful. At night, she dances in secret clubs in the nearby town of Onyomo, where strange things begin to happen. Men go missing. Spirits whisper. And one day, a boy named Ekene falls for her and starts to uncover the truth. What Adaeze hides is not just her nightlife, but a dangerous gift inherited from her grandmother, one tied to ancient African spirits, music, and the moon. Will Ekene save her? Or will the spirits claim her forever? This road. The sun rose over Umuakachi, a quiet village where everyone knew everyone. On this Sunday morning, the church bell rang loudly. Children in white and blue uniforms marched to the village church. Women tied their wrappers and balanced Bibles on their heads. Men wore simple white shirts and sandals. The whole village moved toward the church like ants returning home. And in the middle of them was Adaeze. She wore a clean white dress that reached her ankles. Her head was covered with a red scarf. She walked slowly, holding a Bible close to her chest. Everyone loved Adaeze. "Good morning, Mama Ngozi," she greeted the old woman sweeping her compound. "Bless you, Adaeze," the woman replied, smiling. The boy stared. The girls admired her. The mothers wished she would marry their sons. Adaeze sang louder than anyone in the church choir. Her voice was sweet, like honey. Her eyes never looked up when the pastor preached. Her lips moved when prayers were said. Everyone believed she was a true daughter of Zion. But no one knew the truth. Not even her best friend, Nena. Because Adaeze had a secret. At night, she became someone else. Someone the village would never understand. Someone even the spirits feared. That evening, Adaeze sat quietly with her mother, Mama Nkiru, shelling groundnuts by the fire. "Adaeze," her mother said without looking up, "you must be careful. You are a growing woman now. There are spirits that watch young girls." Adaeze looked up sharply. "Spirits?" Mama Nkiru nodded. "Especially those with fire in their blood." Adaeze smiled and looked away. If only her mother knew. When the moon rose high over the sky, Adaeze waited until everyone slept. Then she changed. Her white dress came off. She wore a short, shiny black skirt and a red top. She painted her lips. Her eyes turned bold. She wore long earrings. She walked through the bush path that led to Onyomo, the nearby town. By midnight, she stepped into Club 44. The music was loud. The lights were wild. And Adaeze became the queen of the night. As soon as she stepped on the stage, everyone stopped to look. She danced like fire. Like wind. Like something not of this world. Men clapped. Women watched in awe. But deep in the corner, a masked drummer banged his drum differently. And his eyes glowed red. In Umuakachi, a young man named Ekene returned from the city. Tall, smart, and handsome, he was the pride of his mother. He came back to start a poetry business, and maybe find a wife. When he saw Adaeze in church, his heart skipped. "She is the one," he whispered. But he had no idea who she really was. That night, Adaeze looked into her mirror and saw something strange. Her reflection smiled, but she did not. Then the mirror cracked. And the wind howled. Nena noticed Adaeze yawning during morning prayers. "You don't sleep at night again?" she asked. Adaeze laughed it off. But Nena started watching. She would find out. Soon, 3 men went missing in Onimo. All of them were last seen at Club 44. The villagers said it was a town matter. But Elder Okeke had another story. It's a spirit, he said. A spirit in human skin. The drummer at Club 44 never removed his mask. He drummed for Adaeze alone. One night, he whispered as she danced. You carry her gift. Adaeze froze. Whose gift? She asked. He pointed to the moon. Adaeze dreamed of fire. Of drums. Of a woman with red eyes dancing in a forest. When she woke, her feet were covered in ash. Mama Nkiru opened an old wooden box. Inside was a small clay pot. This belonged to your grandmother, she told Adaeze. She too danced. Adaeze felt a cold wind blow. Obinna began to visit more. He brought Adaeze mangoes. He helped her mother fetch water. He wanted to know her. And slowly, Adaeze began to want to be known. A dark mark appeared on Adaeze's shoulder after a night at the club. It looked like a snake, crawling around a drum. She hid it under her blouse. Elder Okeke told Nena an old tale. Many years ago, a dancer called Ifenanyo danced with spirits. They gave her power. But when she tried to leave, they cursed her. Nena remembered the way Adaeze danced. Was history repeating? Obinna walked past Adaeze's window one night and heard whispers. But no one was there. Only a faint sound of drums. Mama Nkiru found a black goat tied to their doorstep with red thread. She screamed. It was a message from the spirits. Adaeze received a letter slipped under her pillow. Come to the forest behind Club 44. Alone. On the next full moon. She burned it, but the same letter appeared again the next night. Under the full moon, Adaeze entered the forest. The masked drummer was waiting. So were other dancers, with glowing eyes. She joined them. And danced until she collapsed. Obinna noticed Adaeze's absence that night. He followed her trail. And reached the edge of the forest. But something pushed him back. A shadow. With teeth. At midnight, the whole village heard a scream from the forest. No one dared move. Except Mama Nkiru. She lit a candle. And began to pray. The drummer told Adaeze her true name, Umuakachi, spirit of dance. It was her grandmother's name, passed through blood. You are not just Adaeze, he said. You are a doorway. The elders gathered. There is a spirit among us, Elder Okeke said. We must watch the girls. Obinna spoke up. It is not a spirit. It is a girl. I think I know her. Adaeze danced alone. And as she spun, flames circled her feet. People ran. Some bowed. She danced like the moon was in her blood. The masked drummer warned her. If you keep dancing for men, your heart will burn. Only love can break it. But love meant losing her power. Obinna gave Adaeze a wooden cross. Just to protect you, he said. When she touched it, her hands burned. And he saw the fear in her eyes. Adaeze told Nena everything. The club. The dancing. The forest. The drummer. Nena cried. You must stop. I can't, Adaeze whispered. The drums are inside me now. Rain fell on Umuakachi for 3 days. Floods came. The elders said it was a sign. A spirit is angry, they declared. She sat Adaeze down. My mother danced too, Mama Nkiru said. But she died alone. The power consumed her. Adaeze asked, can I break it? Mama Nkiru's eyes were sad. Only with love and sacrifice. Obinna begged her, run away with me. Leave the club. Let's start a new life. Adaeze looked into his eyes. Could she give up the power, the fame, the dance? At Club 44, for the first time, the drummer removed his mask. His face was Adaeze, but older and darker. She screamed. He bowed. You are me, in 10 years. Would you like me to continue with chapters 31 to 80 plus? The drummer's voice echoed. I am your spirit twin, bound to you since your birth. Adaeze trembled. Why now? Because your time is running out, he said. If you don't choose, the drums will choose for you. That night, Adaeze dreamed of a river made of red water. On its banks, her grandmother danced and wept. In the morning, Adaeze woke up with red dust on her feet. Obinna hid behind a tree near Club 44. He watched Adaeze enter. He followed. Inside, he saw her dance, and saw her eyes glow like fire. He gasped too loudly. She turned. The dancers stopped. The music ceased. Obinna ran. The shadows chased. A voice from the dark hissed. Love is not enough, boy. The next day, a stranger walked into Umuakachi. He wore all black and carried a small drum. He said nothing. But everyone felt cold. Mama Nkiru saw him and fainted. Adaeze cried for the first time in years. She didn't know why. Maybe it was Obinna. Maybe it was the fear. But when her tear hit the floor, the ground cracked slightly. Nena sneaked into Club 44, wearing a wrapper and a hoodie. She saw the dancers. She saw the drummer. She saw Adaeze floating midair while spinning. She fainted. The spirits demanded Adaeze bring them something. A soul that truly loves her. She thought of Obinna. No, she whispered. The drums thundered in anger. A huge black snake appeared in Umuakachi. It coiled near the church door. No one dared enter. Pastor Amos declared, the spirits are challenging the cross. Obinna packed his bags. He couldn't bear it anymore. He wrote a note. I will love you forever, even if you burn. He left it under Adaeze's pillow. Even during the day, Adaeze heard the drums. In the market. In her sleep. In her breath. They would not stop. While cooking, Mama Nkiru dropped her spoon and stared into the fire. She saw her daughter in chains. Then the flames turned blue and whispered. Only truth can free her. Adaeze's late grandmother, Ifenanya, appeared in the mirror. Child, she said, you must break the drum. Adaeze replied, how? Ifenanya's image cracked. You must die, or love must die. A fire broke out in the church. No one could put it out. The Bible on the altar turned to ash, but the wooden cross remained untouched. The villagers knew something evil was near. Adaeze went to Elder Okeke. Where did my grandmother learn to dance? She asked. He pointed to the forest. To the shrine of the three-masked ones. Adaeze reached the shrine. 3 masks hung from trees. A voice whispered, choose one. She chose the red one. It bit her hand and melted. She screamed. The next morning, a trail of blood led from her house to Club 44. No one else could see it, only her. She followed. It ended at the feet of the masked drummer. The spirits told Adaeze she had been married to the dance since birth. The nightclub was her palace. The drummer was her husband. But I never agreed, she cried. You danced, they replied. Obinna came back. He had been to a prophet in the city. I know how to help you, he said. She touched him and felt light again. Together, they visited a prophet on Ogu Yulo mountain. He listened silently, then gave Adaeze a calabash filled with white sand. Pour this where the drums are loudest. Adaeze poured the sand at Club 44. The ground shook. The walls cracked. The drummer screamed. and a single white flower grew in the middle of the dance floor. One of the spirit dancers collapsed and turned into dust. Adaeze is breaking free, the masked drummer said. She must be stopped. Obina kissed Adaeze under the old mango tree. The mark on her shoulder began to fade. But the drums roared louder in the distance. That night, Club 44 turned into a battlefield. Spirits with drums versus spirits with horns. Adaeze stood in the center, glowing with fire and ash. She danced one last time. Every move broke a curse. Every spin shattered chains. She wept as she danced, for herself, for her grandmother, for the girl she used to be. The masked drummer dropped his drum. He knelt before her. You've done what none could. You danced your way to freedom. Then he vanished like smoke. For the first time in months, normal rain fell. No thunder. No fire. Just peace. The people danced in it. Obina sent letters across Umuakachi. He was marrying Adaeze. The villagers were shocked, but deep inside, many smiled. She had changed. Completely. On the eve of her wedding, Adaeze was bathed in 7 herbs and anointed with palm oil. Women sang songs of joy. No more spirits. No more drums. Just peace. Adaeze burned her grandmother's old mask. As it turned to ash, a voice whispered, "You did well, daughter." Then silence. Forever. Under the village Iroko tree, Adaeze and Obina said, "I do." The sun shone. No shadows. Even the birds seemed to sing louder that day. With help from Obina, Adaeze helped rebuild the church. She joined the choir again. And this time, when she sang, it was not to hide, but to praise. 1 year later, Adaeze had a daughter. She named her Ifunanya, after her grandmother. But this time, the name would mean joy. Not pain. The club shut down. No one danced there anymore. Grass grew on the floor. Even spirits get tired. He watched the children play and said to himself, "It is done." The fire girl found water. Adaeze began teaching young girls about choices, power, and love. She told them stories, not of fear, but of freedom. One night, Adaeze heard a faint drum. She held her child close. But nothing happened. Just a memory, not a curse. A small black snake entered her compound. But it turned around and slithered away. The spirits knew she was no longer theirs. He built a school for girls. He named it House of Adaeze. To honor the fire that didn't burn, but lit the path. Far away on a hill, a new mask appeared. Another girl would be born. But that's a story for another day. Adaeze joins the Women's Council and becomes a mentor. Mama Nkiru falls ill, Adaeze cares for her until she passes peacefully. Adaeze visits the shrine to thank the spirits for her freedom. The people of Umuakachi crown her daughter of light. The drummer spirit whispers blessings instead of threats. Adaeze writes a book about her journey. Her daughter, Ifunanya, shows interest in music, but only gospel. The club becomes a community center for children. Obina and Adaeze grow old together, telling stories by the fire. Adaeze dies peacefully, her hand holding a small drum, silent, at last.